So welcome to another Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. And today we are together again around the fire, and we're just gonna see what comes up, see how everyone is doing. And you know, it's pretty much every day I feel different. So we've had last week, had a huge equinox, I would say. And we can talk a little bit about that and see how that has changed our lives, our outlooks, our energies, if it has or if it hasn't. And then we'll take it from there. So how have you been perceiving that equinox? Lots of people have been saying it's knocked them out. Lots of people have been saying actually more knockouts. That's what I've been hearing. How have you been getting on with it with the last couple of days? And we're still in it, obviously.
So for me, I've just been seeing, I don't know, like, when you look at water and you see the sun shining on it and it's just sparkly, like millions and millions of tiny diamonds. That's what I've been seeing. Just this diamond fluttering, like sometimes liquid and sometimes glittery light, just pouring in to myself through my energy field, grounding to earth. But yeah, just about all of my clients are like, "I'm so tired." Yeah, but for me, I've been having really interesting dreams. Really, really dreams of a lot of light, and just seeing that glittery light just pouring through all the spheres.
Do you want to share one of your dreams? Can you remember?
So I had this really interesting dream the other night where, well, there were dragons in the dream. And then I had the sensation of, I'm always thinking about like my energetic toroidal field, right? And the central channel going through my chakras. And so I know you've probably all seen, some of these like party decorations that are like that fold, and when you open them they form a sphere and then they spin around. So I was that, and the human half of me was growing butterfly wings, half of the butterfly wings, and the multidimensional rest of me was growing the other half of the butterfly. But then it wasn't just one butterfly, it was like hundreds of butterflies, all like within this sphere and spinning and integrating. It was a very interesting sensation. And I woke up and I was like, wow, that was really cool. I don't even really kind of can describe it exactly the way it was, but it's like gold and silver and monarch and green hair streak, just like all the butterflies, but also gold and light and water, and it was really interesting.
Beautiful. Well, apparently there has been a lot of light that has been coming in, a lot of beings that have come in. Don't know if you perceive that. Lots and lots and lots of I wouldn't almost say support, but at the same time when I was looking, I saw a lot of young souls come in, young souls that have not been on Earth that many times. And I've actually, when I looked at that, for me it was more like work for us. All those young souls coming in, needing assistance from a space of what is it like to live on Earth? What is it like to heal on Earth? What is it like to do all that on Earth? What is it like to do the Earth thing? Hi, Arena. That was the thing. And just look as we're sitting around the fire. Just look at the Earth Nouveau fire. And then just see if it looks different to you than last week. Just get a sense if and what has changed. What impact did that equinox have on the inner earth and on subsurface and surface? Anyone? Does anyone perceive a difference?
More people around it.
Huh?
There's more beings around it, around the fire.
Uh-huh. I must show you the drawing. I've looked at it, and for me there's an upgrade. So when I go down there, what happened was I looked at it and it was chaos. So when I go into my studio, I do my meditation, and then I go down into the Holo Earth. So as I went down there, I sat there, and it's usually very earthy there, and I don't do the fire. I just sit there and I do my meditation. They all come out and chant with me and do some stuff. And this time it was absolute chaos. Everyone was running, suitcases open, clothes flying, and I'm like, I was trying to do the meditation to hold some space there. And usually, I get somebody to come, and they were just like, they were waving, yeah, okay, gotta go. And what I got was that I got a whole faction change in Holo Earth, whole faction change. All the oldies that have been there and fighting have left. That's just me. And some of the beings, animals included, all sorts of, come surface, but the majority of them has left astral world, gone back to where they needed to go. And a completely new kind of species has come in. And they look quite interested. What I have perceived at the time, and I still do, is there's a huge disc on the forehead, and it's like all different colors, all different plus 50 colors, and they start activating as you, a bit like Tanya's thingy here, yeah, but all different colors. So it's huge. And they've got big heads, but not necessarily elongated heads. And they are very kind, compassionate, ancient as well, but they no longer get involved with the surface from a control perspective, but they're there to assist, for breakthroughs, technical breakthroughs and health wise and medicine and stuff like that. But it's no longer that the controlling of the surface. Those guys have all left now. And what I did when I was there, I couldn't hold. I was trying to hold the space, but I couldn't. So I brought in some ascended masters from the crystal cities in the moon. I had 5 of them. They came and they sat with me. And then also I brought in my couple of crystal healers from Lake Titicaca, and they came as well. And then we sat there and we held space, and then, it helped a little bit, but, it was what it was. But that was and since then, I don't see earthy soil anymore. It has become a stage. I see a stage now in our embassy, a really nice stage. And when I go down there now, it's like we're down there now. We can still make a fire and everything, but it's a stage now. For some reasons, an upgrade. That's funny. I was feeling this dynamic energy, like kind of a shaking up feeling. Yes. Yeah, chaos, utter chaos. But in a good way, because, you know, finally they could leave. And then there was a lot of new beings coming in, a lot of young souls coming in.
This must have been this must have been the dream that I had before the spring equinox. It was a bizarre dream, but I was actually taking garbage and I was descending down, but these cats were telling me where to go. And I don't know the significance of cats. Do they relieve energy, or do they make it neutral?
Busters, and they're obviously mystical beings. They can perceive energies. Yes.
Yes. And so I'm carrying this garbage and I'm going down and descending and going through certain people's homes and offices. And I'm like, where is this garbage going? And I don't know, that makes it seem like that's getting rid of, like what you were just talking about, the garbage.
Yeah, huge cleansing.
Yeah. And then, you know, what's funny is I thought about the cats, that when I was growing up, the cats in the neighborhood, how they must have been just doing that energy thing that they do through the neighborhood that I grew up. I don't know. I was thanking them. I'm like, wow, now that I know what you did, you know, for all of us in our neighborhood, you know, gratitude to the cats.
No, they are huge. I mean, all the animals, isn't it? Yeah. So Caitlin is saying as well that her dreams were reflective of this cleansing, you know. And I was high vibration, for the last couple of days. Today was the first day where I felt almost like, what's this? Why am I not excited? What's going on? It's almost like, hey, because I've been in this state of excitement the whole time.
Amy, the cat also represents the unentangled observer. They are unentangled observers in our reality. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Irina.
Hi, Irina.
I'm sorry, continue.
I was just going to say the cat also in shamanic tradition represents like stepping into your magic.
That could make sense too. Yep. Thank you.
It's so interesting what we are discussing, just unbelievable. I just was tuning into grieving, not just now. It started yesterday, sometime yesterday, even before. And I just did revocation about this grieving. And when I start talking out loud, new words start coming to me. And it came to a moment when I saw all those beings who died in any events on Earth, and people made from them some kind of reminder, you know, like those graves, collective graves, places of honoring death and honoring struggle, you know, like Holocaust, like wars, all those monuments, those things. It was like a holder of that energy on Earth for a long, long time. Recreation again and again of that war experience, dying, all that tragedy. And I was talking and words came and I start to talk. Now I have this piece of revocation when I call my all ancestor soul shards to heal and remember to reconnect with me. Yeah. And I see so clearly ties to millions and billions of people who are still mourning, and holding those beings in place to stay on Earth. And I start to cut all those ties and free all souls. And I saw this living that we are just discussing. Those beings were freed, but they are kind of like in almost coma state.
Ghost.
Almost coma.
Ghost. Yeah. Ghost.
Yeah. Not conscious, not even aware. So I created, in my case, how I work with my ancestors, I created a space like a proper spiritual court of equity, like a special bubble with all my ancestors in unity, with Mother Earth, with Father Sky, like a bubble for that healing, like reanimation, almost like recreation. But tendency of those souls, soul shards, leave. And you start to share, Martina, change and leaving. This is what I saw, kind like we are working with that energy of struggle, like for good, saying goodbye to that energy for good. No more tragedy, no more tears because of loss. This kind of energy, yeah, and it's celebration. It's so deep celebration.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It's like the species that come in, it's interestingly enough, I've only seen one species, yeah, that has come in that is now there are other species, not everyone left, but the ones who wanted to leave forever. That war, that old war on conflict energy, as Irina says, is gone now. Now those discs they have, they gave me one as well, to honor me that I was holding space there. So I've got one as well. And they all, the colors, they come up, and of course mine doesn't completely, what do you call it, turn itself on. But anyway, and then the next day when I went down there, I worked with them a little bit more. And then also I saw that they have a disc here and the heart, and a little bit what we were discussing the other day, they have this alignment, brain, gut, and heart. So it's the same disc and 50 colors, but much more colors, actually. They have so much more colors, Yes. How was it for anyone else? Anyone else who wants to say something? Jen, did you want to say something?
After last week's chat, I was thinking about you taking a magazine and rolling it up and saying that you're always looking at the unseen, and it dawned on me that the unseen really is more real than the seen world. And once I had that realization, like my eyesight opened up a lot more. And so I don't have words for it, but I see a lot of like shadow things just moving about, and I don't judge that they're bad or anything. I call them oogie boogies because I don't know another word to name them, but I see a lot of movement, and I see, the sparkles like Tanya was talking about also, but I see both the shadow aspect and the light aspect moving about a lot more. And I've had quite a few dragon dreams, but they're really peaceful. They're just flying with the dragons, which is a nice release from some of the
Is it my are you guys freezing, or is it me? Is it my thing?
Yeah, mine is now too. We're not supposed to be talking about this, right? If I stop video, that unfreeze it? No.
Everything looks good on my end.
It looks like Martina's still frozen.
I can hear you clearly.
Um,
Continue speaking.
So I kind of had the same sort of, not exactly chaos energy, but I felt like I had everything ready to go on vacation. So I think that ties into what Martina was talking about feeling the chaos and people moving about, but like I was in a different state of mind about it. Had a great equinox fire, and I did a lot of release and manifestation work around it, about what's going on in the collective, what's going on Earth, trying to clear some of the turmoil that's going on Earth. And I don't usually have like strong emotional highs and lows. I'm usually very stable, but even yesterday, I went from feeling the high energy in the morning to really feeling that grief last night, and just having that sadness in my heart, which I don't usually have, but I absolutely stewed in it because I picked my dog up and we danced to the song I used to sing. My old dog is a puppy and he passed away in 2020. So I let myself have a little bit of emotional processing that I wouldn't normally have. So I felt that grief a lot last night too. So a lot of the same things that everybody else has been talking about.
Fantastic. Did you guys just carry on talking? Because I lost my connection just now. Was it working for you?
Yes, we carried
Yeah,
on.
it was.
You
Yeah.
carried on. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, I've got the hotspot on now. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, so I missed that a little bit, but letting go of grief. Yeah.
Well, and one of the things that I've noticed since the equinox is it seems easier to communicate with the other side. Like for me, I've always been able to do it, but I've noticed my ancestors, especially my grandmothers, coming in really strongly, which they never really have before. Maybe because they didn't know how to get my attention, but I noticed that it's interesting, Irina, what you were talking about, creating that spiritual cord of equity with your ancestors, but also seeing how grief has held people in place so they weren't able to cross over. And I've noticed with my grandmothers is that, it's interesting. It's like they were in the astral plane, not totally crossed over, and they didn't understand how to link with those higher versions of themselves, those higher dimensional versions of themselves. So it's been kind of interesting. It's like I've been teaching them on this side how to connect with, with their multidimensional self on a soul level. It was like there was a blockage to that where they couldn't do it. And maybe that was, them being still stuck in the Archon grid or what have you. I'm not sure about that, but it seems like now they're both on that same page of being able to connect in that way. So that was an interesting experience I've had in the last week.
So thanks for that, and look out for that. I have seen that too. Ancestors coming through again, passed on ancestors coming through, and don't look too far. It could just be people that you've known actually in this lifetime as well. If they have finished their reviews and everything and they're still in the astral world, lots of them are reaching out as well. The veil is literally very, very thin at the moment. It's almost like being in a medicine journey after the wake of a medicine journey. Like Jen is saying, you see this, the shadows, I've seen, and also I can't go for a walk anymore without every bloody stone has a face on it and the tree has something on it, and everyone, and I would just looked at them and I'm thinking like, okay, so yes, we won't have an ET sort of disclosure, a global one, but we can all start really, really connect with them. And how do they connect? They connect in different ways, right? And I was looking at that. I walked past a cottage, and it was called Fox Cottage, and it had a little, the door bumper there was made in a fox face, and I thought, no, that's sweet. And then yesterday in our garden, we had a fox come to say hello, and he just lied there and scratched his ass because obviously they're so itchy. He was just lying there and, enjoying himself, and the cats didn't pay any attention. And I thought, that's interesting. The fox energy coming in, the fun energy, and I thought maybe this is how I will be perceiving them, through symbolisms, before they can come through in a more solid way. I don't know.
I so much like and love how you started, Martina, that we need to teach these new beings show them what is our home, what we are doing here, our intention for experience. And when we were sharing further, this thought came, memory came to me. Last comedy show, Andrew, they were talking about this book, about the strange range in Arizona. Yeah. And he just dived. I saw him going into depth, and he said, oh, it's that redistribution happening, new beings stepping into power to be in charge of those gates. Yeah. And I was like, now remembering, this is what's happening. We need to hold now energies that we want to see as our future. Not so much talking about past, but looking into exactly what we want to teach them, how we want to see our future. So maybe someone will guide us, our group, into meditation about that love, whatever experience we want to have, instead of war and domination control that we are finishing now for good. So this is what I saw. Your statement, we need to teach them, we need to show them what we want, who we are. Yes. So maybe it would be a good idea for us at some point to go to that meditation, just to spread that love and make our statement. This is what we want on Earth. This kind of, and we can add whatever you're dreaming about, everyone. What do you want to have as future experience? You know, this just idea came to me.
So yeah, this is great, because I've been also invited to look into the future more, you know, working with those beings that have come in, but not just that, also been invited to look into working with my own future I ams to start creating on a more conscious level, you know. So what I've been doing the last couple of days, I've been walking more to ground. And then I've done my dragon. I've worked with my dragon energies a lot, and also with my all the I am integrations that I've done that. Now, what you just said, Irina, is very cool. What we can do as a group, now we've got 6 on here now, we can, I don't necessarily want to make it on top of my head or top of our heads, but what if we write a future invocation, and everyone writes a little paragraph, right? And then next week we read our paragraphs, and then you send them to me and I compile them, or whoever wants to compile them. Yeah, and we make an Earth Nouveau future, let's just call it future thing at the moment, because we don't really know what it's going to be at the end of the day. Would you like to do that?
Hell yes.
Yes.
I was super excited about that. Yeah.
So, and it can be 1 line or it can be 3 pages. I don't care. Yeah. So whatever you want comes up for you guys. And then we make that. It's a little bit, think of what we've got on the Earth Nouveau already that I've written in 2019, I think, was working with the off-worlders, right? But now we can specifically come in and work with all this new, look at the transition that happened, if we can all sort of resonate with that. And we don't necessarily need to know who's coming in, or we can just look. Do your meditations and look who's come in, who's working with you, who wants to work with you. And then we write an invocation, revocation, meditation, that kind of thing. Yeah? Should it be about, no, Lana, it can be about anything. Whatever you feel like you want to teach. It could be about healing. It could be about eating. It could be about sex. It could be about love. It could be about anything. What do those new beings that have come in, what do they require? And, it could just be a question. Guys, what you need. Yeah.
Yes, and maybe make your direction. They are coming to us. We are carrier of this experience that is Earth, that is in this universe, in this galaxy. So not to make someone more important because they are our guest and we need to give them everything. No, we are co-creating. This is how I see it. And we are here for a long time. We went through so many different experiences and we have vision, we have idea. Don't look at someone from down up or from up down, co-creators. This is how I see it. Not so much just dancing around them, dancing with them.
Mutual contribution, absolutely. And I said that in the beginning. What I'm getting is, and look, there are other beings as well. This is not so much like working with the guys in Holo Earth now that I've seen. Those already come in with their certain caliber, with that discs, blowing up like that. I'm more talking about the ones that have come in now that do not have a lot of Earth experience. Yeah, they have other experiences. They've got other stuff to teach us, and but the main teaching is to raise our frequency and keep us on that level of frequency. The teachings, all the duality teachings, yeah, we don't have to go because the duality is phasing out. But they will come in and they will have issues. Even how to deal with their bodies, and things like that. That's what I'm thinking. So yes, absolutely, Irina. And as Lana says as well, yeah, equal co-creators. Yes, what can we create okay, so what can we create on this earth for the entire universe? Yeah, and beyond, if you want to go beyond, in the next 550, 500 years. 550, 500. So let's go 550, 500 years. Good. So we can either do, yeah, and then next week we read it out, and then we just put it together. That sounds like a good fun. I like it. And then maybe we can find obviously a title for it. Future. Oh, cooperation. Coalition. No. Future. Future what? Future.
Collaboration.
Collaboration. Yeah.
Future made real now. Bring it
Oh,
in.
yeah. It's gonna be awesome because it's gonna have everybody's authentic song, and just it's gonna be this chorus of beauty. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. That's the way I see it. Because everybody's got everybody, someone's a trumpet, someone's a clarinet, someone's, everybody's. I mean, we've done your readings, which are awesome because it's cool. It's like, oh yeah, we're doing it collectively, but we do it with our own internal wisdom. I just see it. It's gonna be life changing, for everybody.
And also because everyone will see something different, someone different come in, And that's why I don't want to do it on the spot here. Just take a bit of time, do a bit of meditation, see who is coming through, and then all these different ones, because we all have, links to different beings, to different frequencies. So, and yeah, we're looking at the dharmic path beyond conflict. There might be some conflict stuff that will come up, for you guys, that they need to learn and how to get out of it. Alfredo will bring the trumpet. Yeah. Fantastic.
I still gotta clean it, but I mean, it's I'll put it on my list. You called me out. I gotta dust it off and get it clean.
Fantastic.
Yeah, let's see.
Yes, and if you add light language, allow yourselves to make up words, because if you start, once you start meditating with those guys, they might come up and teach you some weird shit. So we want to know about that too, right? Because we're no longer interested in what people know and been taught. We want to know the new stuff. And how can we help with that? So that we can step into that teacher role, right? Beyond what we have taught before. So that's a bit edge of unknowingness. So I was walking the other day, edge of unknowingness. Let's just look at that. And I thought, you know, the edge of unknowingness is, you know, could be a lonely place in a way, because if you take it literally, look at metaphorically, who likes to join you on the edge, right? So look at the edge of unknowingness. What does it look like for you guys? Metaphorically speaking.
Mine looks like, I just got it instantly. It's like a fog, like a heavy fog, like a mist. And I just keep walking through it, like with trust in myself. Because I can't see in front of me really. All I can see is inches, you know, here, as far as I can walk.
Fantastic. Now, it's your edge of unknowingness, right? And you the creator of your experience, of your reality. So you might be happy with walking like that, where you only see just the length of your nose, or you might not. So if you have this misty thing here, where for me, it sounds a bit like, yeah, you trust and everything, but you could change that in a way, couldn't you?
Yeah, I just saw like little pockets as I'm walking through, little pockets of clearing.
Yeah.
You know, and you go a little faster. You go a little faster now. And then it comes again. It almost feels like a teaching of some kind. Okay, the fog is the teacher for me. And then once I'm done, then I step through a pocket of, you know, I don't know, snow, sun. Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So what could you walk the edge of unknowingness without fog?
Without fog?
Without mist?
Yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah.
Then do that.
To see clearly. Yeah. Yeah, true. That could be.
Are there other beings or people that you can see now that you couldn't see before?
Yeah.
Well, see or perceive, right?
See, perceive, receive.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other edges of unknowingness do we have?
In my case, Jen, go ahead.
You go ahead, Irina.
Okay. In my case, it was like I perceive what I already know as a bubble. And when you asked what is that edge of unknowingness, it was like more of your bubble that you forgot about. More of your bubbles that you forgot about. And it was something that really different colors, a different sensation that I didn't explore for a long time, playing in known bubble.
Are you inside the bubble or outside?
I'm inside of bubble, but it is really like has a border known, and then a border like a line, and then expansion into that unknown, and that unknown brighter, much brighter.
So can I challenge you to look into bursting that bubble? How I'm not saying do it, just see if that would be possible, and what would that do?
Oh, it start to mix with my known And that unknown, like a waves, concentric waves going inside through me and outside, almost like toroidal movement, starting from my bottom, from feet, up through crown and going like a fountain all around me, mixing known and unknown. Oh my God, it's so, it's so wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Fabulous. Now, how many people are with you in that bubble?
You see, in my case, I don't see other beings ever. It's just me, even me transparent. It's not even me as me. Everything is me. This is kind of like my interaction with the universe, with consciousness. But I see a lot more new possibilities, a lot more new opportunities for experience.
So just for fun, try it on. You can always let them go again. Bring a few people in. And they're all you, but make them clearer. People with bodies. And then you can bring other species in as well. I just want to see how does that change when you bring someone in?
Activity. It's a lot of new activities appearing immediately. And the moment you start to talk about beings, they were just waiting for me to recognize them. They are all the time there. And I know that. I know that. But when you asked, they cleared up completely. I see different beings.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of very, very ancient.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see them. Once we let the bubble go, sometimes that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see more as well, Amy, now, as you cleared the fog.
Yeah, I did. I just saw like things I've never seen before. It's almost as, and definitely colors, but it's like mushrooms, but not mushrooms I've seen. Like, and then like oh God, I don't even know how to explain it. Just kind of I don't want to say ghost, but formless things. You know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, both of you ladies, look, since you've seen more of those people and beings now, take a step forward and then just look and see how that experience changes. And anyone else can walk on the edge, whatever that looks like as well for them.
They're so excited to hear our sharing, my sharing in this case. So excited. They just, wow, tell us more, share, what was this and this. They just in that readiness to experience through my sharing.
Fantastic.
Yeah, mine felt like buzziness. It was almost like magnetic. So they would like, they came like right with me when they were on the outer edge, you know, and like a magnet, they just came there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like just like almost like a partnership. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else who wants to share their edge of unknowingness with us? What does it look like?
Saw a cliff, and like below it was just white, not like a mist, but like it hasn't been perceived or defined yet. And if I step forward, like I pop in somewhere else. And like those that are around me, one of them looked like the White Rabbit in Alice in Wonderland, like I was late for something. Which is perfectly me because I'm late to everything. But it reminded me of like in Harry Potter, like when they jump through the fireplace, like flues, and they pop in somewhere. Like when I step off that cliff, I don't know where I'm going yet, but it pops me to another place where I'm supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
or another place where I am.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Edge of unknowingness. This is the first lesson to those beings that have come in. What is it like to live on this planet? You got to be present. You got to keep moving. Got to use the senses.
You have to keep moving past the point where you're comfortable, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that too.
Creating each moment, each second, creating.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, I believe today it's in full consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
not anymore unconscious creation.
Mm-hmm.
In full consciousness, what you want. And you know, synchronicities, this last, I don't know, couple days, just unbelievable. You think about something and you see it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it's happening now. Like Tanya said, easier, everything so much easier.
That ease, yeah, that ease. And that acknowledgement of us being creator beings. And you said something very important here, Irina. It's like you think of something and you manifest it. The manifestation is no longer the problem. It's what is it you want to think of? What is it actually? And how? What is that new thinking? What is that new thinking beyond imagination? Now, this process we've just done is that, because it's almost like you're being internally guided. You just say, okay, so what does it look like? Edge of unknowingness. I take a step and all of a sudden everything changes. The mist goes, the bubbles expand. You can hear things, you can see things. It's that simple. And it's not something that you even have to think. You're actually perceiving it. You feel it in the body. Now take it now. For all of you, you found this edge of unknowingness, whatever it looks like, and make it something real. Yeah, walking on the edge of your phone, make it something earthly real. A metaphor. And then take a step back. And look what happens. How does that change? Amy, Irina, Jen.
For me, no fear at all. When I even trying to see where I need to be cautious,
Mm-hmm.
there is no energy of that vibration anymore.
Uh-huh.
It's just that expansion and celebration of your inner knowing, that your inner magic of connection to flows, natural flows of this creation.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous.
And just riding those waves as universe creating for you human being. Just riding and just, I don't know, so much joy and so much blissfulness.
Yeah, you creating as the universe incorporated through you. You the universe. It's like what we say, the vagus nerve is the universe. How did he say it? I can't remember now.
Superhighway of consciousness or something.
Yeah, incorporated. It is the expression of the universe. We are expressions of the universe. We know all that. There's not even a distinction anymore between universe and us. But also, there is no sense and logic to that. When we take that step and all of a sudden, people disappear sometimes. You might be walking people everywhere. You take a step to the left, whoops, everybody's gone. What the hell, right? You can feel it. literally. And then it gives you ideas and those metaphors, those edges. So my metaphor was edge. I looked at that on my walk the other day. I walked on this rugby field and this is quite expansive. And I thought, edge, I don't know if I want an edge, you know, walking on this edge, and you've got to be careful, you know, and it goes down. It was all like whoosh, going down. I thought, nobody's going to come with me on this edge, right? Nobody's too scary. I thought, fuck that. I'm going to go. Edge of unknowingness for me is now a field of infinite possibilities. Like this rugby field. For me, it's now a rugby field. And at the moment, I'm just walking. There are not that many people there yet. I can see Amy there and Jen and, you know, Alfredo on the other side and, you know, Irina and Lana and all you guys, but spread out quite wide. And we just have to carry on walking and see what happens. And it gives you such an insight of where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to create? It helps a little bit with that. Yes, the expressions of the universe, hence the super increasing synchronicities. Yeah, Marissa.
And for me, it's so interesting what you just said. You already know in that unknown what you created for yourself. And you as human beings just need to stay in that heart trust of that inner knowing to connect to that what you prepared for yourself and just walk and experience it, boots on the ground as a human being. This is what for me, I don't need to think what I want to do. I just need to listen to my inner knowing and recognize those waves that I need to, that I can, not need to, that I can to ride. And when I am in that synchronicity, this is where everything happening, and I don't need to have any worry or think about something and, you know, logically before I step how I can do it. Everything already opening with each my foot stepping forward. With each moment, we still have minutes, we still have seconds on Earth. So with each second, with each moment, I am already stepping into that unknown and unknown as known. Yeah.
I like that. And, you know, the thing is what I have sometimes, I don't have an issue with the unknowingness. That gets me excited. I sometimes get a bit lazy in moving, making that one step. Because I can so happily live as the medium of peace, but I can also very happily live as the grounded person here. Yeah. So, you know, that kind of thing. For me, those 2 years living in very easy for me. So, and I sometimes, what trips me off at times is that I have too much trust. And then I forget that actually, oh shit, trust is not enough. I have to still take action and move. That's just my thing. That I'm like, I'm happy if I don't do anything, and I'm happy if but when I then do take action and start actualizing more, it's more of an adventure. I have to remind myself to take action at times. Do you find that, or is it just me?
I have almost the opposite, because I get the messages that, like, I've already manifested everything that I need to manifest, that I can just relax. But I'm such a type A personality that, like, I don't sit still and I can't leave it to chance, right? So they'll take the action, and what I think I need to do is just sit back and observe and take it all in instead of constantly taking the action.
Okay, Jen, let's switch some of our soul shots. Not switch, but I need a couple of your teacher soul shards, to help me with my action. You can have more of my relate back. It's all done. I don't have to do fuck all. It's all done. Mine are very good with that. So no. It's all about experience. It's good. It's good.
I'm listening to you guys, and inside of me, just that joy jumping inside of me. I recognize what I already did. You see, with what my style of looking into creation and my teaching and what I already teach, what I learned from my teacher. We have this meditation, unity breath. It's very common meditation, connecting with Mother Earth and connecting with Father Sky. And in this position of stretch, Mother Earth, its roots, it's that action thing that Jen talking. Father Sky, it's what Martina talking, that perceiving everything as already done and more be satisfied with that, just observing. So if you take right position between this stretch, in this stretch, Mother Earth, action, Father Sky, just knowingness. If you take that right position in the middle, and in my experience, it's knowing heart technology as spiritual technology, you are all the time stretched and connected. You are in the middle of that action and knowingness. And this is the best experience for me, how to live my life. It's not allowing me to be a balloon without roots, but at the same time, it's not making me too obligated in my responsibilities. It's allowing me to roll with life in joy and in recognition of what I already planned for myself, and step into action without not needed too heavy obligations. Just using my logic, my brain logic, when I need, how I can make it work for me. Okay. Am I clear in my?
Yeah. You're very clear. The only problem I have, I'm floating. I'm floating in the middle.
It's just, yes, it's just.
I need to come down in order to make, because I'm floating in the middle now. Because what you say, I'll take it literally. So I'm just like, okay, now I'm floating. Shit. Take a step forward. No, it's not. It's like, oh, there's nothing happening. So I personally need to come down.
Yes, and the best way to come down, to recognize why you don't want to have that permanent connection to roots. What is scaring you? What is your fear? And you will recognize your contracts, vows, agreements. You cancel that stuff, and then it's easier to recreate your natural connection to Mother Earth. In the beginning, when I start doing my teachings, my learnings, I didn't have strong connection with Mother Earth as well. I was having very great connection with Father Sky, but with Mother Earth, no, I didn't have this real connection, like I am a child of my mother as Earth. I didn't have that. The more I was canceling my fears and my stuck experiences, the easier it came naturally. I didn't improve my connection with Earth. I was canceling what was like film on top of my natural connection. We come here, we have that natural connection to Mother Earth and to Father Sky. It's a given. But with all our experiences, traumatic experiences usually, because our past, it was drama, whatever, this is what not allowing us to use that natural connection. It's my point, my vision.
No, and it's good. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I know there's a lot of that, And what else?
And at the same time, let me finish. Another thought came, and at the same time, you do have a lot of excitement not to have that connection yet. Again, it is kind like maybe believe inside of you that if you will recreate that root connection, something will be gone, like surprise moment or whatever. I call it high vibrational propaganda.
I love it. Let's destroy and uncreate all the high vibrational propaganda, please.
Exactly. Yeah.
Please let that go. Let that go. So, okay. Let me. I'm going to be your example here. Yeah. So I'm gonna, because you know what, I could never have plants because, first of all, it's like, why, I didn't want to put them in the soil because, and then they couldn't move. So there is definitely that. Yeah. I can't feel the fear, but I'm the spiritual propaganda, the high vibration propaganda, that makes me laugh. So there's definitely something there. I need to look into that. Yeah. What else you got? What
you
else
see, in your case, what I see, you created belief that if you will know moment, your surprise state, your excitement of unknown will be gone. This is what you created. It's not true. This is that propaganda, high vibrational propaganda, because we are connected to Mother Earth. We are boots on the ground of that consciousness that we are having experience. And since we were so long time centered in our logical brain, head brain, logical, we were looking at everything as logic. It's heavy, it's obligation. And we were using logic even to understand unknown. It's not true. This is that propaganda that we created for ourselves. You need logic, brain logic, only to know how you step from point A to point B. In everything else, brain is not useful. Brain is not useful. We have heart brain, we have gut brain. This is what's working with unknown, not brain. We need logic of our brain, head brain, only to understand how to step out from your flat, how to walk on a street. This is where we need our brain logic. But we relied on that brain for so long, we forgot how to use all those three in co-creation, in collaboration together. And we put everything we were choosing and what we're choosing, how, on our head brain only. And this is what today struggle for a lot of people, allow to remember your root connection, Mother Earth, like boots on the ground, something tangible. People don't want to go there because it's heavy in their previous experience. It's still not allowing them to stay in joy. Too much responsibility. It's not true. When you let go and use only your head brain to see your life, to see creation. So this is what I see. You can let go of that belief that you need to use and be clear on everything with human logic. It's not true. Then you never take from you that surprise, that freshness of your experience. Next moment, it's still unknown for you, even you know. Do you feel where we're going?
No, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
It's vibrational thing. We just need to allow that distribution, how we use this skin suit, how we use our connection to universe through this skin suit.
Yes.
That's why we need the healing in this moment. We need to let go of logic being number one tool to create your experience. Logic of brain, head brain.
So this is a perfect lesson, and I can already see them listening to that. Yeah, because this is a very good earth grounding, you know, discussion we're having.
I think she got frozen again. Irina, I'd love to know how to let's say build within myself a surprise.
Marissa, let's wait for Martina. I don't know, does she hear us or not?
Sure.
She will restart her thing and then we will continue discussing. Yeah.
Martina may have to get out and come back in, Irina. So you may want to continue talking.
Oh, she's coming. She's here now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I've got this.
Yeah, we stopped talking. We were waiting for you.
Okay, so when I let go of the logic, as I'm suspended between earth and sky, and I let go of the logic, it takes me higher. So I need to actually acknowledge the logic and not let go of the logic. And when I listen to myself, I talk a lot about it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't. So actually, I need to do the other way around. I'm just saying this is for me.
Not exactly. Yeah? Not exactly. You are still using vibration of the trauma when you created belief. I don't want to be grounded. It's too heavy. You are still using that vibration to look into this new old connection to earth and sky and that unknown and unknown. You are still using that logic. You're still using that vibration. And you need to relax first. First, you need to relax and recognize where you are. Don't make new movements to what you already created for you. You created for you some kind of equilibrium that was working till now.
Okay, I'll take that on board. And then I'd like to add to that, the limiting belief is connected to the logic, not to the groundedness. Because I'm super grounded, I can be super grounded. And I have been all my life creating super grounded. It's the logic where the limitation is. Because when I listen to myself talking, let the logic go. It doesn't have to make sense. We've talked about this a lot. So there is the limitation. There is a judgment towards logic. Okay.
Exactly. But you don't need to let go logic.
Yes. So what I need to do, and I'm just doing this now, I'm letting go the limitation, the judgment about logic.
Exactly. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is interesting, but this is a super, and thanks. This is a super exploration to look at. And where did we start? We started from the metaphor. Yeah. Because as soon as I let go of the logic, I can almost see, I can integrate the logic and it's dragging me down onto the earth. I create a heaviness through the logic that I'm just saying, this is my metaphor. So don't get hung up on the metaphor, please. But look at your own metaphor. It's created that it's almost like it magnetizes me down to the earth as I'm acknowledging the density of the logic without judgment.
I just saw your drama. I just saw your drama. It's not, and it's not your personal. It's we as humanity went through that drama. When we knew that not everything must have sense in human understanding of logic. And we were punished for that when we knew I can make it work differently than human logic. And that trauma holding us to criticize logic and not to go too much into logic today. Does it make sense, guys? When we knew how to create things not logically, but we were punished for that, knowing. This is that magic of life. This is that magic of connection to universal flows that naturally exist.
So like, let me add something to this. And this is just purely for everyone to contemplate. Let me add something to this. How many lifetimes have we been decapitated, burnt at stake, cauterized, raped, and all whatever else you can think of by creating without logic?
A lot, a lot. This is a trauma I'm talking about, yes. So and this is what made logic, and this is what made logic not desirable for us.
Well, that takes us back to the witchiness, isn't it? And all of that.
Yep.
That's
yep.
Yeah.
But again, even now, when we talk about magic, witchiness, all that magic craft, it's not positive connotation. Even it's not true. You can't talk about magic, good or bad. It's just that real, natural connection to universe. So, but even now, it is trauma. It's still trauma.
So now, this would be a point that we can put in our teaching manual for all the new souls to come in, because they're going to come in and they're going to be witchy beyond. They're going to create without logic. They're going to create just like the autistic children have been showing us already as forerunners. How have they been actually, well, they still been considered sick, yeah, but the new ones, they're not going to be considered sick. They're going to be considered outsiders, strange, abnormal, and all of that. So what can we teach them? Help them through our own experiences by having gone through this. Would that be something that we could put in our invocation revocation teaching manual? It's going to be a teaching manual, in fact.
This
lessons for living on Earth.
Yeah.
This immediately came to me. It depends on your values, from which you are stepping into those magical connections to universe. It depends on your personal values. If they are allowing you to be in integrity of intention of this universe for experience, you can't say it's good or bad magic. It's just your real connection to this place that we call this universe. When you start to deviate with your values inside, why you actually created this universe, for what kind of experience, you as consciousness, and you start to deviate from that in your personal values, you start to justify something else. This is what making good magic or bad magic.
Well, introducing the newcomers to values, to our value system on this planet is a whole other teaching point we can put in as well, right? Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, in my world, most of those values are actually limitations.
Yeah, and this is what we need to cancel. No more limitations. Done, 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 done. And then we are naturally reconnect into that stretch. Mother Earth, Father Sky, that is connection to your known and unknown.
Yes.
And you are as, how we call it, that one who is fulfilling as experience and experiencing as experience.
And that's now the thin line that we need to walk, or need to teach and walk ourselves, is where, how can we acknowledge the limitation of the value system and at the same time remain logic, or don't disregard the significance of logic?
You see, it's so interesting question. In Andrew's teaching, he was talking about arguing for limitation thing. Yeah. And if you look in those three brains, head brain, heart brain, and gut brain, only head brain has that possibility even argue. It will find justification for anything, why I need to do this way. If you will base on your heart brain, it will not allow you to justify some things. It will clearly show you, no, we can't go that way. The same brain for gut brain, it's only head brain. So now we need to look why we created this head brain. For a long time, if you look at Aborigines, they don't have front lobe. It's huge eyebrows and then continuation of skull, no front lobe. At some point, we had to create our head brain. We had to. Why? Because of experience we stepped in. We decide to go into limitations and not to stay in integrity with universal intention for experience. Because that possibility opened and we as consciousness said, okay, let's go explore. Whatever, it's something new. And we created front lobes. It's very new creation actually in our brain. And we centered in that logic. Okay, the long we will judge our brain logic, the long we will stuck in that. We have to recognize all that, I don't know, possibilities and that we created for ourselves as humans to have experiences, not to judge, not to criticize. We need to acknowledge our brain and everything what it was doing for us when we were centered in our brain. And if you look into world, not many people doing that. People still criticizing brain and logic. It's a trauma. It's a trauma. Continue criticizing and not recognizing that experience that we had with centering in our brain. It was beautiful for consciousness. Whatever it was for human being, not all the time beautiful, but for consciousness, it was just great. Consciousness had so interesting terms, and look at our logic, especially low logic. When you see court and how they talk, it's an art. It's just flow of something, but it has sense. It doesn't have sense when they do their verdicts. It's strange. But when they are talking and playing with that logic, it's beautiful as art. And people still fighting with that. We need to acknowledge our brain. And then reposition where you want to be centered, how you want to use your brain logic. And as I said, in experience, it is answering your question, how you make human part. This is the brain logic. So without brain logic, you won't be even knowing how to step outside of your door. It's just gone. And this is what brain logic need to, it's a processor. It's antenna and processor. This is only function of our brain logic. It's not place where you know what you want and where to move. You won't find answer there. It will tell you how you will move, what you need to do to move. But where to move, when to move, it's not brain. It's not your head brain, ever. So we need to reposition where we center and how we use those three brains, not to judge our head brain. It's a wonderful creation.
So this is something that needs to go into the manual. We can put that in nicely. And we have to probably, depending on, you know, it will be up to anyone who you know, whom you're speaking to, who comes to you in the meditation, you know, make it your own experience. And we can all write about the same thing. So don't worry about, you know, now Irina having to write this, or me, or Jen, or anyone. Yeah, just, you know, put that in the manual the way it works for you, you know, in that revocation that we're going to do. Fabulous. Thanks, Irina, for that.
Well, and just as we're talking about logic, you know, from my perspective, it's a matter of perspective, right? Because those of us who have spent many, many, many lifetimes on Earth have a way of looking at the way we move through Earth, and those souls coming in from different planetary systems and higher density who haven't had many experiences on Earth, you know, are going to have a different way of thinking about how they are going to move through the world. Right. Like I live in San Francisco, and busy city, and Martina lives in London, right? If we're if we're walking downtown and we're not stopping at the crosswalk and thinking logically about everything that's going on around us, we're going to walk into traffic. Right. And my art teacher in 8th grade always said, you don't want to get hit by a Mack truck. So, you know, we have to pay attention to those things around us. And sometimes we're using our heart brain, and sometimes we're using our brain, our logic brain. But it's, you know, for each individual, it's a unique blend of energetic flow, I think.
Very much agreed with you, Tanya, very much. And this is what I was talking. We need our brain, yes, but I was talking about being centered. So making our life 100% from brain logic. This is where we're returning, it doesn't work. Well, you can't figure out entire your life from your, this is where we're stuck as society. Look at generations, successful people, they completely counting everything. And we're looking at them and we don't see any heart present, any God maybe, heart almost. If you are successful in this world, you are having a lot of problem with using heart brain. It's still not accepted, not welcomed. No, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, we fully understood the message, absolutely, and this is what we're obviously moving into. So it's all more going into the compassionate heart and starting to co-create with an alignment, with a complexity of the brain, the heart, and the gut. You know, and yes, it's all understood, the drama and the judgment and the limitations that need to go. And this is why that kind of exploration is so useful, you know, to look at it from a slightly different perspective. And now what we are doing is, as well, we're bringing the new energies in, the new beings, because they've got stuff to say about that too, right? They will actually be able to also, that's why it's good next meditations, you do start having that conversation, not just with people with bodies, but without bodies, you know, or the ones that are coming in now that are solidifying, probably not very solid yet in or whatever, however it works for you. and have that conversation, see what point of view do they have.
I so much love your point, what you are bringing now, Martina. When you were talking, I tuned to those new beings who are coming here. They are bringing actually new things, how to live life that we never experienced before on Earth and in this universe. Because what I'm talking, it's not new. We lived like that before.
Yes.
Many times we had that kind of life experience centered in our heart. They are bringing something else. I don't know what that, but they are bringing something brand new for us as humans.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, what we need to have the conversation with them. And then we see how we can integrate it. How can we, that new stuff that they bring, how we can root that onto that. Or maybe it's easy to root anyway, you know, but this is where the mutual collaboration comes in. Absolutely. Yeah.
There's
It's just not good enough to say it's all heart and love, because that means not enough for me. I want a bit more, so that we can actually put some words to it, so we can put it into a teaching. That is my Arcturian logic that is coming through. Yeah. And this is what we're here for. If we want to sell this love, then we need to put words to it. Sorry, Tanya.
I saw an interview just talking about, back to logic and, putting words to it and thinking differently, thinking outside the box of old limitations, right? Of how your parents taught you to do things and how your grandparents taught them to do things. And yeah, I saw an interview this morning with a guy called Emmanuel Echo, and he has just released a book called Illogical about, he was a sports guy, college football guy and track guy, and ended up, really putting all of his intentions into goal seeking about getting drafted in the NFL draft. And he, didn't get drafted in the first 3 rounds, and it just sort of like shattered his world. Like, he had all these expectations. I'm going to have kids by the time I'm 26, and I'm going to have a house by the time I'm 30. And, and then he was 31 and single, and really had to kind of like reframe the way he was looking at life and what life is supposed to be. Right. So I thought that was interesting, that came up today as we're having this discussion about logic.
Yes. I think
so it's not just happening. We're not just thinking about this, right? It's in the collective consciousness and out there, right? In a big way.
Yeah. It's maybe, also I need to look at the book, what logic is actually defined as, and then we can, what's the origin, and then it's a redefinition of that entire subject, really. How can we redefine it to actually make it work for us in the new energy? Because everything has its place, and this is why the non-judgment is key to moving on from here. Tanya.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Oh no, you unmuted. Because I feel a bit lonely. Everybody turned to the pictures.
Oh. Sorry, I'm going out of town tomorrow, so I'm running around.
Yeah. No, fantastic. What? Anyone else wants to say something to that?
I just feel like I'm slightly on your boat, Martina, as in I tend to be in the ethers, I guess. And then, but yeah, I hear Irina's thing of getting connected to Earth, but then I am so connected to Earth also. Yeah. I am very connected to Earth, but yet it's like I have a room to grow still in the taking action aspect. It's so far more so like dreamlike state, like understandings, perceivings, ahas, but as in the physical realm, although I would be affecting the realm in a sense, as in the action steps, although I have connection to Earth, I don't yet have that momentum or discipline to have it be more aligned.
And you know what if none of that, what we've been actually discussing, is actually the case? Let's just look at it from one perspective here. This is actually, we are multidimensionally living. So we're living in all these different holograms at the same time, okay? So we've all proven that we can do all of it. And now it all comes down to choice. And even if we say we're floating up there, that doesn't mean that we're not here as well. So it's maybe just that recognition that we are starting to recognize and just have to acknowledge that we're living in so many different places at the same time, right? And that can be, sometimes you think, but it's like every time you go into a conclusion, a point of view, an expectation or something, you take yourself out of this. At the end of the day, we're multidimensionally, you know, living simultaneously, you know. And God knows, yeah. Why would that not be confusing at times? Irina.
If you look, Marisa, at your life, you found your niche. Life is working for you, correct?
A lot of things are going sideways at this time, but at the same time, it's releasing some things that I found were not in full alignment. So there's a bit of shifts, and then just things are shifting. So I'm not, there's some uncertainties they're not fully on, I guess.
Did you?
But
Did
awareness
you?
is I'm there yet, as in this physical realm. It's different.
Do you recognize that you experiencing more energy of brave, being brave lately, being brave?
Very much so, yes.
Yeah.
Speaking up, taking a stand, and that was allowed by no longer being in fear, choosing myself and my awareness and my truths over any possibilities of denying that and what that might mean. So
in my recognition, what's happening with you and with many, many people today, they are realigning what Martina was saying, multidimensionality, being everything at once, having experiences everywhere, to this new time. And it's turning for people that brave actions that they didn't do before. In my case, the best what those people can do for themselves, make it very comfortable. Don't make it uncomfortable. Make it very comfortable. Use your previous routine and connection to that multidimensionality, and make that shift gradual and comfortable. You will bring healing to this earth, taking off not needed density, and at the same time opening your that bubbling energy of not creating additional problems, additional heaviness, having human experience, boots on the ground. So this is what's happening. I recognize in the world a lot. People trying to be more centered in their hearts, but they immediately put on them a lot of not needed heaviness. Make it very smooth, that transition to everything you want to experience as human being, in addition what you had before.
thank you so much. I look forward to re-listening to that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. This is I see in people. They try to go too hard and stay in love, but it's bringing more problem. And for them personally, and for world, it's make world more in I thought it will be, but it is not what I thought. And I'm trying to be loving person, but at the same time, it's now harder for me and harder for everyone around me. You see, love, it's not that fairy pinky thing. It's not that. This is those values as universal citizen, as human being. This is those values. It's not emotions. Heart energy, love energy, it's not emotions. This is those deep values in my vision.
Yeah, redefinition of all the values. For yourself, what does it mean to you? What does love mean to you? What does it look like? Do your metaphor and then walk inside it. Back, front, left, right, and then see what happens.
Marissa, for what it's worth, you know, one of the messages that I get also is that for some of the things that aren't going right, well, our perception of right, the way we want them to right now, is part of the lesson in mastering your frequency. So being able to work through those and keeping your frequency where it needs to be is just one of the things that we're supposed to be learning and mastering right now. And some of the things that we haven't let go of yet, they have to surface and they have to clear because they can't go where they can't come with us. We can't bring them with us. And so that's part of the challenges that I see coming up with people, and in some cases myself too, right now.
Thank you for sharing. I was happy to just tune into last week's recording just yesterday. I really enjoyed it. It was like really good. But in there somewhere I mentioned about how wherever we're at, we're attracting that. And then I recognize some, let's say, the shit that I'm clearing out that I have awareness around because it's present in a sense of my reality. I went to this other space and that same shit showed up. I'm like, oh my goodness, you're freaking kidding me. But then when hearing this, I was like, oh shoot. But when it's in my awareness and I have it here, in a sense, I'm calling that forth. So being aware of what, even though there was something I'm letting go of, making sure it's a letting go process versus continuing it in my present field and continue to manifest some stuff that I'm releasing. So I was being aware of that and also reminding to lift my energy up when it does go down. So that way, because it's spiraling and, you know, we're always creating. So, okay, I'm there. Okay, cool. We'll cause it. All right, cool. But then taking some action or movement or energy shifts to support one's upliftment so that you could be met there. So I could be met there versus like, okay, higher vibrational beings want to access me. Okay, well, give some assistance, meet us somewhere. So.
Yeah.
Can I say a couple words about your conversation, guys? I was listening and tuning through vibration, what you were discussing, Jen and Marissa, and this word cleaning, clearing, tune into that vibration of this word. I need to clean, I need to clear, I need to release. Immediately it's bringing, I did something not right. Maybe not wrong, but not exactly right. It's immediately bringing us into duality automatically. Let's maybe look at that, what we are working with as remembering. Nothing was wrong with anything we ever experienced, ever. Remember where we are. We are in try everything, no rules. It's free will, 100%. What can you do wrong? It's impossible. We were just trying one direction, another direction. So we're not clearing and letting go and cleansing. We are acknowledging, this is what I did before. And you accept that 100%. This is what Andrew talking, responsibility for your knowing. You accept it. This is what I did before with my choice. Today, I don't choose that direction. I'm choosing this direction. And with the same joy, without clearing and letting go and cleansing and claiming something it was not right. You're just moving with that energy of joy into new direction. Nothing to clean, nothing. It's just acknowledgement. This is where I moved. I did that exploration. Now I'm done. I'm moving in this direction, and this is my exploration. How do you feel this energy, guys? Just remembering acknowledging, accepting, and moving into new direction.
Yeah, thank you for that, Irina.
Yes, thank you so very much.
Do you feel it's not taking from you any joy? It's not demanding from you to feel guilty, that guilt, blame, shame thing. It's not putting you into judgment at all, zero. It's just joy of exploration. And you stay centered and connected to your inner child, that joy. This is that inner child. And you have your all energy to move into any direction, and it's not heavy.
Joy of exploring consciousness. That's what we're doing in the hub, in the Earth Nouveau Hub. Good. How are you guys doing? Any questions before we're gonna finish off? Are we all fried? Any questions? Any statements?
Say thank you to Alfredo for taking us on a walk with him. I'm enjoying the sunshine because it's pouring here.
I'm glad you're thankful. I just realized I towed my fucking car. I'm like,
Oh no.
and I fucking live here, you know.
Oh, no.
Whatever. It's all good, you know. Going with the flow. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, no, I'm excited for because I want to share something, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be oversharing. You know, it's like, well, let me let other people share too, and it's like, oh yeah, we can all share now. That's why I was so excited.
But what do you want to share? Share.
Oh no, I was after that. I did our presentation like 2 months ago, and it was like a huge eye opener. So I was like, holy shit, like what? All these things were coming up, and I was like, oh man, I gotta like really go inwards and just kind of disconnect from everything, because I realized I had too much stimulation going on in my life, so I had to just totally destimulate, just disconnect every day, and get back to my, go as deep as I can inwards, because but yeah, I started making like a few energetic tools here and there, because I got the inspiration re-sparked, and I realized a lot of things. Just going with, because I viewed I watched Archive 81. I watched that video that you posted with Stefan. I forgot his name, but he was talking about purpose. I was like, yeah, man, I've been so caught up in like this purpose. Like I gotta be here in life. I gotta, get this. I gotta do all these things. I'm just overwhelming myself with all this like
Fantastic.
with all this stuff, it's like, and it's just weighing me down. Like, just Fredo, just fucking enjoy life, live life, and embrace the moments that are here. Like, don't be so caught up in the past or the future. Just enjoy the things that are here now.
Just recognize that high vibrational propaganda. You need to save. You need to help. You need to be on the front line. This is high vibrational propaganda.
I just wanted to reconnect with the things that make me happy, the things that I love to fucking do. And I was like, this is what I love to do. This is what like made me feel so alive. And that's my directional compass, where I'm like coming from now. And yeah. I think about all the highlight moments in my life. I was like, yeah, because I was doing all the things that I love, and I was consistently in flow because I was just in my path, and it was like I was growing faster, quicker, and I get caught up in like, I guess the high vibrational propaganda or whatever stuff, caught myself up in, and just, it's been a reconnection with who I am, or whatever. But go ahead. Anybody can speak. I was having a Fredo moment,
Alfredo moment. Now, thank you for sharing your Alfredo moments. We love the Alfredo moments. We're glad you're.
They come and go, and I might outburst them on people too. And I'm just like, fuck it, I gotta tell you how I really feel, man. Yeah.
you can do this now because they've taken your car. You might as well just go ape shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get. I'm just centering right now. Y'all helping me center. Yeah, it's all good. But
well, thanks for coming on, Alfredo. And I hope you sort out your car and everything.
it'll go perfect. I'm sure I'll meet up with some people I'm supposed to meet up with or whatever. It's all good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate all y'all. It's good to just be here with y'all. Like I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank
Fantastic. And I just want to add to that, I appreciate all of you as well. And thanks for this another great conversation. We're doing well with our no plan plans. I think we're just going to carry on doing those. Fantastic. Now, as we said, we're going to put this to a close now. Thanks for all your contributions as every week. Write a couple of paragraphs. We're looking at all those guys, the new ones that are coming in. How can we collaborate? What can we teach? What do we want to know from them? And then we're going to put it all together. So we're going to just a couple of lines, as long or pages, whatever you want. And then next week, we're going to get together and read it out. And then somehow let's see how we can bring it all together. Yeah.
Can you write that in the the notes of the when you post like the questions? Pretty please.
Yeah. Okay, guys. You have a good evening and
thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it today. Thanks.
Thank you. Enjoyed the conversation. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.